Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the pre-market live show. It is Tuesday, November 12th, and we're getting fired up because these things are just going crazy. The heat map just changed over. It looks like Microsoft's down a little bit, Apple's down a little bit, Amazon's up a little, Tesla's down a hair, Google and Meta and Nvidia are all down a hair. It's a little more red this morning. Again, I think we might see a little bit of that pullback, but it will be healthy, nothing crazy. So let's get rolling and see what's happening. All information presented here is for educational and information purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And here we go. Let's check out our Jolie's jumpers this morning. There's a whole big list of them. And how about that BCT or BTCT? That one blasting off, guys. And we've been looking at that. So here we go. Let's take a look. BAER. Let's see what that's up to this morning, because that's running up 85 cents. BAER. We will check out them two SDX Confidential. I know they were both moving too, so we'll definitely take a look. And BAER was moving yesterday. It's moving again today, 436 to 462. It's at 437 and not looking bad right there for BAER. And let's look at BITO. BITO. That's ProShares Bitcoin BTF. Whoa, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this bad boy, huh? It's only a 23.59. It did jump up, obviously, but I wasn't even really familiar with it. And what did it jump up to yesterday? 21.94 to 24.22. Today, 24.16 to 24.19. Down a little bit to 23.59. But it is setting up really good. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. How about BLNK? What's that doing this morning? It's back to 183, it looks like. BLNK. And it's going to get curled up and get moving back up to that 204 area and get cruising back again. So that just took that dip. How about that BTCT? That's up to 460 right now, over 208. BTCT, and it's cruising right now. It is at 467. It's at 461 right now. So there you go. That's probably like a 200% at this point, or 150 or so yeah, I just posted that this morning, and that's cruising, and we were way early on that. How about CERO? That was cruising yesterday. I'm not so sure it's doing anything just yet. It is opened at 19, came down to 18, and just sitting right there. We'll have to take a look at it, but that one ran big yesterday. CMPO. Compo Secure. Let's see. This one is set up. This one's a good one to keep an eye on. CMPO. It did do a little dip action right there yesterday. I don't see anything today, but I would like to keep an eye on that one. See it. This one says today it's 14 to 14.28. So Finviz has it moving and mine doesn't. Coin, this one's down 88 cents, but I mean, holy cow, what a big pop, and we were all over that. And the CONL, the ETF, and I'm telling you, that thing paid out like crazy right there. So definitely going to be doing ETFs and the options. DJT down a little bit this morning, and I was saying it was going to pull back to set up. I think the big caps are kind of basically pull back to set up here, and we discussed it last night. So that's DJT. How about DRUG down? I think this one's dipping down and pulling back finally. I mean, it stayed up there forever. Boxo is up 6 cents again. This thing just keeps running around like a maniac, but just be careful. It's up there. And yeah, the resistance is right there. We were talking about yesterday, 79 cents. It's at 76. If it can get off that 79 or get into the top, it should roll. And that's FOXO, Foxo Technologies. Let's take a look at GameStop. It is now down 74 cents, but I still think it'll be set up there and getting cruising. So yeah, I think it's a little healthy pullback. It ran up into the top, but it's not real high up, and I think it's going to actually stay up there. So I think a little healthy pullback. I'll keep an eye on it. GOVX is up another 21 cents. We were on this one early, and it ran up yesterday to 199 to 382, 384. It opened that today. It closed at 359. It gapped up. It came back to 335, but GOVX, it did gap up this morning. LGMK, that good old logic marks moving. That's up 5 cents to 18 cents now. LGMK. And we were saying that was going to be popping this morning. So all of these bad boys we were all on point with, and they are moving. Mara, MARA, that's pulling back a little bit, but we knew that was getting into the top. So I'll watch it to see what it wants to do. And we might see a little healthy pullback. I don't know. It could keep bouncing up there. MMV, Multi Metaverse Holdings, up 9 cents this morning, curled up and going up. So MMV looking decent yesterday, especially 38 to 65. Today 65, and it actually came down. So yesterday it ran up. That was yesterday's date. Yeah. Well, no, that is today's. It gapped up today. It had to have. Let me see this bad boy. What did it close at yesterday? 65? I don't know. One charts look totally different to me. No big deal. It's MMV I was looking at. MNOV. Let's see what that's doing. That looks like it's moving this morning and curling up. So keep an eye on this one because it is curling up there. It was moving yesterday, 154 to 207 and 161 to 205 today. It's at 171, and it looks like it's pretty good. MNOV. How about MSTR, that micro strategy up at 351? And that's another one that has an ETF that we're going to be looking at. And it just ran all the way up to the top there and got crazy. How about fun? PHUN. That one's just pulling back there. I think we're going to get onto the 50 there, about the 530s, and then set back up. So that's PHUN. And I mean, we caught that way down and ran it up. PRCH, Porch Group. This one's actually pulling back a little bit. PRCH. So let that one pull back. It did run up the other day, last week, but we'll let that pull back a little bit. PRCH and Rivian. This one was well, let me type it in right. Rivian was moving up. It just pulled back. It's a little healthy, nothing crazy there. So just keep an eye on it, and it will be driving up as we said. SEZL. Let's look at that. SEZL, Sezzle. We just looked at this recently too, and it's been flying up. SEZL, Sezzle. That one ran up last week and yesterday, 424 to 444. But on Friday, I remember 300 to 454. I remember we were looking at this bad boy, and yeah, one might be it's in the top, so just keep an eye on it. But we definitely looked at that one, and that one ran up pretty big. SJ Sign Joy or something. I don't even know, but this one looks like it wants to get moving. A broadcasting company in China, it looks like. It ran up yesterday, and then today 118 to 119, but yesterday 193 to 139. I have to see what that's up to today. SJ. And let's look at SOND. What a list this morning. Mad poppers going on, huh? And I knew we'd start seeing them, but I saw that list. I said, well, it's look at the change in the administration already. I mean, we haven't seen a list like that since we've been doing this show. SOND 268 to 499, and yesterday, and then today 460 to 486, and back down to 399 at the moment. So SOND did run around like crazy. STRL, Sterling Infrastructure, looks like it's going to be pulling back. Let me see. What is that? STRL. Yeah, it ran up yesterday really good, 175 to 194. I think you're getting to the top on that one, and that's STRL. SUGP, we were early on. That one ran up. It's still up a little bit more today. So SUGP, and that one we definitely got early on. 170 to 270 yesterday, 239. It actually came down a little bit today. It looked like it had run up a little bit, but not really. But it did yesterday, that's for sure. TAOP. That's up 3 cents and trying to cruise around there. So let's keep an eye on that as it curls up. It could be just a little healthy pullback at the moment as it just pulled up, and we'll see what happens. TSHA. This one has earnings coming up on the 13th, so that's tomorrow, and it ran up 19 cents. I might not mess with that one, but how about VMAR? I know we looked at this before. It's just sitting right there. Let me see what it's doing here. Actually ran up last week and pulled back yesterday, so we'll have to 312 to 329 and came down to it's at 290, so I'll have to look at that one. And WBTN, let's see, WBTN, that one is just looks like it's a good setup. Let me see what it's doing here. It is. It tried to run up some yesterday, ran up last week, pulled back, and now it's trying to set back up. So I'll keep an eye on that, see if it wants to. It is setting up to be nice. And XBP, let's look at that. XBP Europe Holdings up 55 cents, and that blasted off, curling through and not looking bad there. So it ran up yesterday and some today. It ran up from 92 to 225 yesterday and 194 to 220 this morning. And there you go at your Jolie's jumpers. Thank you very much, Asian Jolie. And let's take a look and see what you guys want to look at real quick. Bong Pre-Chan wants to look at TMDX, so let's look at that one real fast. Transmedics Group is curling up out of the basement, curling up. I like that look. We haven't seen that in a long time, and it looks good. It crossed through just a little bit flat right there. What's it at? 88, $89 on here. It says 88.62. And that is this morning. It opened at 89, came down to 88.62, and it is looking good to continue to move up there. So I would say it should get over 100 and into the 102, 103 area. So there you go, Bong Pre-Chan with that one. BTBT Luis Rodriguez. Let's look at that one. That one ran like crazy yesterday, and it looks like it wants to stay at the top and run a little more. It's just a little flat there this morning. What it do there? It ran up 593 to 629, and it pulled back to that 542. What it closed at 573. So it's a little under that, but it's not looking terrible. It's still on the top, just chilling right there. So well, I'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what it can do, but it could stay up there and run. LGMK, that logic mark we went through, and it's up over 4 cents. It's moving this morning. And when were their earnings? They were what, tomorrow? Or yesterday or today. I'm sorry, they're today. November 12th is today. So Logic Mark earnings today, and it is cruising there. So make sure you trade that one smart today. We knew that was going to be moving. And MAXN, that's back over 12. And remember, I said it should get back over that high, which was 1266. Well, it got to, did it do it? It did not. It looked like it did, but it's right there. And so keep an eye on it because it's probably going to want to. And I would say it's going to be moving today. What it get? Yeah, 1357. I told you it was going to get over there. It opened at 1161. It got up to 1357 today. So there you go. I told you it was going over that high, and it blasted right through it. So FinViz wasn't set up. And there you go with MAXN, another one perfectly red, and boom, there you go. So WTO, Jonathan, let's see that one real quick. And let's look at WTO. Here we go. I know it was running up a little bit yesterday as we were talking about it bottomed. And what is it doing? It doesn't look like it's doing anything here, but yesterday it ran up. Let me just see what it's doing here. That is today's date, the 39 to 35, back to 38. Yesterday it opened at 51, but it had gapped up there from that 32. And let's see. I'm just trying to get an idea. It's hard to get an idea on this one because it's so low. And it jumped up like that. It looks like it still wants to stay curled up, but it's not a guarantee. I'll have to look at WTO as it's moving. It's just sitting there flat, so it's hard to tell exactly what it wants to do after it bounced up a little bit yesterday, but I can keep an eye on that and take a look at it. So there you go with that one. KWE for green thumbs. Let's see. KWE. Here we go. 73 cents. And it is going to start curling up now. So I think your bottom is probably that 70 and a half, and it's at 73. So I think you're going to be pretty safe to look for that. If you get any pullbacks there, yeah, that's going to be your bottom right there, like 69 cents right there. It says what I say over here. Um, 70 and a half. It looks like in the pre-market it came down to like 69 cents area. It's at 74 area and it is getting curled up, so it is looking good. And I think it'll start to get set up there. So that's KWE. And there you go with them bad boys. Let's go ahead and see what the scanner or the yeah, in the scanner, but it is a little bit red right there. Let's just see if there's anything on the scanner jumping out at me. LGMK's first, and that's jumping up. LIFW. I know we looked at that. MSP recovery. We looked at this recently. That's jumped up a little bit. So that's moving. The TSLL, that's the Tesla ETF. MSTZ, that's a um, MSTR, the inverse. Oh, that's like the bearish one, huh? You can even do that. That's an interesting one. Go bearish on some of them. Same thing with the Tesla inverse one. And let's look. CONL, that's just down 32 cents. But again, at the top, we crushed that thing. There's our XBP. E-Lab. That's just down a little bit, but I'm telling you, it's getting set up right there. MMV, we did Maraciro. I mean, we just run through all of these. We hit them all nonstop. BITF is up a little bit this morning. CLSK is down a hair, but again, these things ran up like maniacs and we were all over them. So no big deal there. Let me go ahead and look at the SPY. We'll look at the big caps real quick. The SPY is down 71 cents. It did have that look yesterday, like it did not, like at the end of the day last night anyway, like it didn't want to get into the basement just yet. I'm not saying it doesn't want to further on in the week, but it did look like it kind of hit that top and was going to pull back a little bit. So let's go ahead and look at Nvidia's down 28 cents, hitting that line. Nothing crazy. Like I said, these things are just going to set up to get wild here. So that's Nvidia. Apple is up a penny and it's going to start bouncing off that line. It pulled back. It was on the 50 and it came down to the hard line. So it was up at that like 226 area, came down to the 224 and it wants to bounce off of that 224 area. So watch this thing getting set up because it's going to and it's going to get rocking. So keep your eye on Apple, AAPL. I don't even know what I'm typing in for Google. Well, we'll change the letters to GIIG, but it's GOOG and it's down 35 cents. And I'm telling you, it's just sitting right there. I think it wants to pull back and set up. So I'll keep my eye on it. And I think a lot of all these Mag 7s kind of want to just kind of pull back as they're setting up to get crazy. Amazon did kind of pull back a little bit. It's up 41 cents. But again, this thing's going to get wild. So I think this thing's just going to start curling up and moving, and it's not going to look back until probably the holidays are over. So that is Amazon. Let's look at Meta, META. That is down 297 to 580 right now, sitting on the 20. And what is it doing? It is just pulling back there. So again, these things are just setting up super bullish. We'll catch the bottoms, and that's what we want to do. Microsoft MSFT down 38 cents, and the same thing, just was trying to cross through right there. It made that hard curl up, and now it's making a hard curl down. It's going to sit right here, set up, and get ready to roll. And that's MST. And good old Tesla is probably down a little bit because I think it topped out, but honestly, it looks like it wants to stay up this high and get moving again. So just keep an eye on that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does pull back a little bit there. Let's look at snow real quick. Let's see. It's down $1.20, $1.12 right there. And it's just a little pullback, but this bad boy is going to be getting set up right there. SNOW. So keep an eye on that bad boy. What is it? 122.93 came down to 119. It's back to 120. And this thing's going to get set up as well. It has a nice resistance down there at like 115, 116 area. So keep your eye on snow because that one's going to be looking decent as well. And let's see what else we have going on over here. I think we did almost all of them. Let me just look at Dell real quick. It's down 90 cents, so we are seeing that little bit of pullback, and the heat map is a little bit red, but no big deal. Just a little healthy pullback. And let's go ahead and look at our crypto real quick because you know that's been going crazy. Bitcoin's at 87,523. It was over like it was at 89 earlier. It was just going nuts. So let's see what it's at. Its high was 90. It did touch 90,000. So let's see if that's going to be its top and it wants to pull back just a little bit. Again, a little healthy. Ethereum's at 3,278, and this thing is still moving up because this one was a little bit behind them. So that one's moving up a little bit. Sol came down to 211. Cardano's back to 58 right now. And again, ran up, making kind of a base up here. I think they might try to make a base up here and then, make room on the chart to get rolling some more. Doge was up to like 40 something cents this morning. 40, oh, excuse me, 44 cents. And it is rolling up there. And it's at 39 right now. I don't know when it wants to stop, but that is Doge. And Sheeb was up a little bit this morning as well. And that thing keeps running up. So it's way up there, just pulling back on the chart, making some room. And what was the WIF? Let's take a look at that one. And that is down 11 cents back to 295. But again, it ran up over three something and it's still crawled through looking good, guys. So just some healthy pullback on that one. And Bonk was getting crazy this morning. I saw that one. BONK. Let's look at it. And it is up 17% right there. It got wild and it's running and going bonkers. So Bonk is getting crazy now. And there you go with them bad boys. And let me look and see where our laptop travel or laptop lowdowns are. SNOA. Let's see that. They got some kind of approval yesterday, Jonathan said. So let's look at it. We were looking at that the other week. And I was saying it wanted to get set up. It never got moving. It did what? Yesterday, maybe? When they got the approval. Hold on, SNOA. And yesterday it looked like it did run up 308 to 374. Today, 325 to 330. It's at 315. And that's another one I said was going to get set up and run. And it did finally move a little bit yesterday. So thank you, Jonathan, for that one. And there we are with that. And let me find the laptop lowdown ones. Hold on. Let me go ahead and find these bad boys. I'm not sure where they are. I think I took a picture of them this morning. Hold on. I know I did something. Let me see where I put them. Um, there we are. I did take a picture of them. That's what I thought. EFSH, let's look at it and see what it's doing. That 1847 holdings, they just split, huh? So we're gonna look at that November 11th. So that was yesterday. I'll keep an eye on that, see what if it wants to set up. But ADTX, let's look at that. That one's, I'm telling you, this thing, I don't know when it wants to run, but it is just going to pop out of nowhere right there. That ADTX is going to move ATIP. This one, the same thing, way down there. And I would say ATIP, I'm keeping my eye on that because that one's going to be set up. And these will be the next round of like 100% or so. ATXI, this one's just pulling back there and hitting the line. So I'll keep an eye on that. CDTG. And this one actually is running all over the place. Ran up last week. That one's pretty wild. CDTG. And it's just pulling back right now. So we'll watch that one because it is running around like crazy. CREV. Let's take a look at that one. CREV. And that one's just sitting there. It was trying to move up right now. Let's see. It was moving up last week, and then yesterday it ran up a little bit, or yeah, yesterday 381 to 452. It's back to 355. I have to take a look at that, but it might get right over that 50 and keep moving there. So keep an eye on that CREV. PNBK. I don't even see that one. Hold on. Did I write it in? PNBK. Yeah, it's on here. Patriot National Bank Corp. And it did run up there. It might be actually top, getting toward the top. I only have it on the one chart. and it's kind of got a crazy chart, so I'm not really sure about that one to be honest with you. But anyway, let's look at QLGN because we were looking at that last night. It's at 429. It recently split, and that one's going to get moving soon. So let's do it. Ran up $5 yesterday, but I think it gapped up because it closed at 484 the last week. It opened at 5 and came back to the 430. So just watch it as it's curling up there. ERBN, that Reborn Coffee. And this one we've been watching. It's in the basement, just pulling back there, and we've been watching that at night as well because it's trying to set up SVMH. We were looking at that one, and it just stayed in the basement down there. Never wanted to get moving yet, so we kind of just abandoned it. But I think it's time to put it back on because it's curling up and looking good. TOVX, that one did run up before, and let's see what it's doing now. It's just pulling back a little bit, but I bet it's gonna end up rolling off. TRNR, another one that ran up really nice. It reached that one just split too yesterday, so we'll have to keep an eye on that interactive strength. And TTOO, two T2 Biosystems. And this one has earnings coming up on the 14th, which is Thursday, and it is in the basement, and it never got moving. It just keeps pulling back there. So I think it's going to try to get moving. Maybe it's waiting for the earnings, but it does look much better right now down there. WLDS, I know we were looking at that one before, that TTOO, but it just kept pulling back. WLDS, wearable devices, and Israeli consumer electronics, and this one's way down. It did split, and it's just way down there. WLDS. And I'd have to say, keep an eye on it because I think it's going to try to curl up sooner than later. And ZVSA. Let's take a look because that's about to touch the bottom. And we'll keep an eye on ZVSA and see what it wants to do. It's going to want to bounce fairly soon. And there you go at our laptop lowdowns. So thank you very much, Laptop Travel. And let me hop out of there and back into here. And there we go. What happened? Uh-oh. What'd I do? Did I hit something here? I think I did. Oh, fucker. Did I turn this thing off? Damn it. I did. Oh, man. God, Jesus. How'd I do that? Fuck. I guess I ended it. I guess it turned off when I should. That's why I try not to take the pictures. Shit. Guess I ended that bad boy. Sorry, guys.